Kumite. Kumite.
Kumite.
Kumite.
Kumite. Kumite.
Kumite.
We're not talking about Bloodsport. I wish.
What the fuck did you just say? I couldn't hear you.
We're not talking about Bloodsport. God, I wish. But sadly, there's no wrestlers in it.
There are no wrestlers in Bloodsport, but there is The Rock in this thing that you decided to show us instead of watching Lucha Underground or TNA this week.
Yes, we have decided I am taking the wheel as we have returned from a 2-week hiatus.
Where the fuck were we?
So, I was sick for a week. I had 4 days off, which would have been beautiful, ideal time for podcasting, but I immediately get sick.
Yeah.
And I'm trash for the fucking 4 days off I get.
So we announced that our name changed to RASSLE Boys from RASSLE Boys.
Yes.
And I had a sore throat, but that went away because it turns out it was a tonsil stone.
Yeah.
Then I got a new job.
And he got a new job and then quit it.
I quit that job because it was fucking terrible.
It fucking sucked.
I don't know if I should go on a tangent on it or not, but
No. We're not here to bitch about Taco Bell. Well,
it's weird though. My opinion is that it isn't Taco Bell. It's that Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like the Taco Bell I worked at sucked, but I feel like the other Taco Bells are probably run fine.
Yeah. But more to the point, we're not here to talk about Taco Bell. We are here to
experience beige.
Yes.
We are here to experience beige.
We're feeling the beige tonight.
Because I have taken the wheel and I have taken us to the Starship Enterprise. I know it's not the Enterprise in Star Trek Voyager, you nerds. Shut up.
Anyway, on the USS Enterprise.
So this is Tsunkatse.
Tsunkatse.
Tsunkatse. It is an episode of Star Trek Voyager from its 6th season.
Episode
aired
like 15 or something.
Episode 15 aired February 2nd, 2000. And we start off in this absolutely poorly lit room.
It kind of looks like a circular dodgeball arena almost.
Yeah.
And like 2 people are fighting. One is a weird forehead man. He's like skinny. He's got the butt crack on his head. He's wearing like a gold. He's wearing like a gold singlet that's cut slightly too low.
Yeah, he's like a really skinny-looking Klingon, or maybe he's one of the other weird forehead races of Star Trek. Two forehead men come out.
2 forehead men come out, and they're wearing like glowy gloves and glowy feet shoes.
Yes. They're going at each other with their glowy feet shoes, and the crowd's like cheering or booing when they get into the fight, or when they throw punches.
There's like glimpses of the crowd, and there's a couple people from the Voyager on it, or like in the crowd cheering.
Like the fight ends with the Herogen, as that is the race he is of. The second weird forehead man.
Yeah, because the Klingon was overselling like shit.
Yeah. I could be wrong on him being a Klingon.
I don't remember enough SF debris to know the name of any of these characters.
No. I feel like I should have watched this SF debris review of this first before.
But the Voyager's on shore leave. Everyone wants to go on vacay. Vacay while I think they're trapped in another part of the galaxy.
Which makes shore leave sound very weird. They're going to Norcadia Prime and the nearby Pendari system. And
we have several sequences of walking down a hallway and talking.
Like we're in a fucking West Wing episode, yeah.
And like some guy will like just walk through a door, and then another person will continue the hallway walkie-talkie until they get to like the kitchen, where they open the grate and it's just like this big pot of yellow shit.
Because Neelix, he went. Is
that his name?
Yeah, Neelix. He went to have himself a tan, but he didn't bring his proper dermaline. So he now has to make like a like a fucking.
I just want to establish anyone who's listening to this after our long hiatus that we're finally back with a different name. So that means it's harder to find us on YouTube.
Oh yeah, or easier. Who knows?
Who knows? But here's the thing.
By the way, I'm Mega Fighter, and that's Allie, our usual host.
I got vaccinated.
You got vaccinated.
You still haven't.
I need to get vaccinated. Yes.
Get vaccinated, ladies and gentlemen.
I need to get that autism right now.
Yeah, you gotta reload.
You gotta reload.
Yeah. No, you're becoming sociable again, and that means you can't get any work done. You gotta get more autism.
Get more autism, god damn it.
This episode has been taken down by YouTube.
Oh my god. But yeah, so Neelix is doing like some sort of weird ointment thing.
He's got sunburn, and he made like weird fuck ointment or.
Fuck ointment is a very different kind of ointment that you should not put on sunburn. Yeah, he's trying to like cure himself because he fell asleep under two suns.
I got a skin condition. I just wanted to point out before you cut me off, by the way, that on a scale of 0 to Mike Stoklasa in amount of things you know about Star Trek, I'm like a 2.
You're a J Ballman.
And you're like a 4. So
yeah. My dad watched Star Trek, so I feel like I at least have the comfort of...
Consider this as just... Imagine if they advertised this, and knowing Vince McMahon, he would have advertised the fuck out of this. Of a wrestling fan sitting down and watching Star Trek, and
watching this nerd show.
The first 10 minutes is a hallway, and like one fight scene between two guys that look like they're part of a... Two guys barring the rubber forehead look like they're part of a 70s progressive rock band.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of technobabble going on. There's this weird, like, alien dude who's got sunburn. You must be fucking bored out of your mind at this point.
They're doing inventory, and, like, everyone just starts trading barbs about, like...
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, just 7 of 9's a Borg lady, and she sucks. According to other people, and she's boring, and she didn't assimilate an amusement park or something.
And we started making jokes about Mike and Rich being on the set of Never Been Kissed.
So she goes to do inventory with a different guy. I think his name's Paris or something.
And let me check. I'm using the Memory Alpha setup for this just to be sure. Yes, I think
so. She talks to him, she closes some cylinders and just carries the cylinders down the hallway.
Yeah.
She says that she's going on a trip with Tuvok, which is sort of the Vulcan guy, I think.
Yeah, to look at a micronebula.
To go look at a micronebula, even though everyone's like, but it's shore leave and you gotta have fun on shore leave.
But they could be having fun watching the micronebula.
Science is fun. You ever make a baking soda volcano? That's fun.
Yeah.
You ever
not
you ever do one of those inertia tests? Those are fun.
Like, not everyone's definition of fun is going to be hanging out at the beach.
Hanging out with your family.
Having yourselves a party. No. Sometimes people want to just sit back and just kind of read a book.
Do math.
And that's fine. Do math. Play chess.
So they get into this little, like, scuttlebug ship so they can head off. After she carried her cylinders down the hallway.
Didn't, like, the doctor show up and be like, yeah, you should try doing something fun. And he's like, you can join me.
You should fun. And then she's like, no, I don't want to fun.
Like, you could join us to observe the micronebula, and the doctor's like, I'll pass.
No. You carry those cylinders now. Have a good day. So, they're in the little scuttlebug ship, and then they get hit with a dampening field, which makes them damp.
Yes, now they're all wet.
And a bomb gets teleported onto their ship, and Tuvok tries to disarm it, and they die.
He did not. He was not even any good at disabling that bomb. He kind of like grabbed it once.
Well,
and
he
then it
tried
went
to
off.
port the bomb off, and it didn't work. So he was just like, I'm going to touch it, and then it blew up.
Yeah.
But
And we
they're
were
fine.
Like, oh, they're dead.
Yeah, they're fine.
Oh yeah, we made the joke about Tsunkatse's tattoo making him look like he was a part of the Nation of Violence.
Some ninjas kidnapped me, and I came back wearing this tattoo.
And yeah, they wake up. Or 7 of 9 wakes up because she's not dead. She's getting scanned by like one of the people there. It's like saying, "Oh, she's like a Borg. She's got like she's a drone."
Oh my God, she's a drone, but she thinks for herself. Woman warrior? How? Woman fight in woman different? So they're on like a prison ship, which is actually the Tsunkatse ship.
Yeah.
And they're met by this uncharismatic fight promoter with a mustache.
The awful mustache that's kind of like attached to his face. It's like a Fu Manchu, but really weird. Like he glued it onto his face. So this is Penk, the fight promoter of Tsunkatse. Who
I really wanted him to have more of a charismatic kind of carry to himself.
because
But
he's supposed to be like a sleazy fight promoter of this.
here's
sort of
my
like,
problem with Star Trek. I am not a Star Wars fan. I am not a Star Trek fan. I have a vague grasp of sci-fi, but one of the things I hate about sci-fi is that for some reason, because it's in the future, we cannot articulate, emote, or in any kind of way express any kind of outward personality or charisma.
We must be very serious, or
We must be
people
very
think
serious,
that
so that
serious
even
stuff.
when I'm showing that I have intensity or charisma, that I am put together and futuristic.
It's especially upsetting. With
Everyone
how-
talks like that, and because everyone talks like that, it makes it not special.
Yeah, it's especially upsetting because the
Look,
the
here's
voice
the
act-
thing.
the actor
You
for
can-
Hank-
You can be in the future and be informal. You can be
Yeah.
informal even on an official, like, Starfleet ship. Because you only have to be formal when you're performing the duties of your position. Like if you're like you're on the navigation team or the communicators.
Yeah,
I can understand being cordial and like very mechanic and polite. But if you're just like on the bridge deck, like they were like in the rec room and just chatting about boxing, why are they just being like, I enjoy boxing?
but here's the thing that upsets me about Penk is his actor is Jeffrey Combs, who I know is actually a very good actor and can ham it up when he needs to.
Can you give me some info on Jeffrey Combs?
He is best known as Dr. Herbert West in the Reanimator movies.
Okay.
If you've ever seen those, you know how good he is in those.
I have not.
I swear he's had other roles and you might recognize him. I think my go-to is Herbert West. Let's see. He played the Question in the DC animated universe.
Reanimate
He is
your
in
feet.
Injustice 2. He is in Injustice 2 as Brainiac.
No, he's Brainiac in Injustice 2. Cool.
Yeah. He also played the character of H.P. Hatecraft in Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
I get it.
Which is a joke on Lovecraft, aka he did a bunch of Lovecraft movies.
Look up the name of his cat. No.
Don't look up the name of H.P. Lovecraft's cat.
What about What about H.P. Hatecraft's cat?
That's probably not bad.
Call it Cracker Boy.
Oh God! Oh, we are so canceled. We should have probably held off for another week. But yeah, I love me some Jeffrey Combs. He is a good actor, but it's just like he's not. He is so like I am acting in a sci-fi production.
I am acting beside you in a sci-fi production. I wish for my friend to be safe.
Yeah.
Oh no, we are going to die on this combat ship.
Yes. So Tuvok is injured due to a bomb blowing up in his face.
Fair.
So
He
they're like,
carried himself pretty well for being severely injured.
yeah. I like that the makeup worked because he's a Klingon. Because Tuvok's a Klingon, and they have like green blood. His wounds are kind of greenish in color.
I thought he was the
or
Spock
Vulcan,
guy.
excuse me.
Spock
A
guy,
Vulcan,
yeah.
excuse me. Why did I say Klingon?
Oh my god, you got the species wrong.
What is this captain of the starship gonna drink beer?
You fucking...
No. But yeah, so Tuvok's injured, so Tank makes Seven like fight in order to ensure that he'll be fine. Like everyone.
Yeah, then they go back to the bridge after that. And they're talking sports. And they're just kind of like joking with each other, and half of the sports are made up. So they were just going, haha, like, I don't know, like space
javelin.
Space javelin.
I genuinely cannot even. We watched it like not but 5 minutes before recording.
Space cricket, yeah.
And I can't remember a single fucking sport they even
Parisians.
Yeah.
You punch like a. You punch like that. You punch like a Ferengi.
You punch like a Ferengi.
No,
oh my god.
He did say like that Asian guy said that.
Oh, Harry Kim.
Yeah.
Played by Garrett Wang, aka Wang.
Wang. Anyway,
we're children. Yeah,
I love space sport. Chakotay.
Everyone's talking about space sport, and Chakotay's like going there. He's gonna go see the fucking thing.
He wants to go see it
because he's an anthropologist, so it's a cultural phenomena that he needs to study. I'm fairly certain he said the same thing about seesaws, though. So
cultural seesaws.
Cultural seesaws. Oh,
Neelix has a rash, but Chakotay like delegates the ship to the Klingon girl.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, so you can watch the MMA fight. Yeah, real cool.
Real cool.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Are you going to watch the Tsunkatse fight on the ship? While I take command of the ship? Yes, I will watch the MMA fight while I'm on the ship.
It is, yeah. God.
You don't all have to do it, okay?
You don't all have a voice. For fuck's sake.
I don't remember this shit happening with like other Star Trek characters.
No, Picard, like I can tell you the difference between a Picard line and a Riker line just in the tone of voice. Or it wasn't as restraining as it was here. Everyone's so awkward.
I swear to God I've seen Picard like do more than that.
Yeah. Like you're not all Data, okay? But yeah, Neelix is being treated by a doctor. He says, you're fine, just don't... Oh, he also had an allergic reaction to his own treatment, so...
Yeah, he got a rash.
But yeah, he says, you'll be fine. You know, here's a hyper spray, that'll deal with the swelling and discoloration.
The doctor's just like, oh, that Tsunkatse is such a boorish sport. It's like human cockfighting.
And Neelix, because he's got to stay inside, is just like, well, the fight's indoors.
Yeah,
I could watch that.
He's like, how dare you, it's based on boxing.
Barbarism.
Barbarism. My hair's gone.
Yes. And I think this is around when we cut back to the Tsunkatse arena.
Tsunkatse, even though everyone in the crowd just chants Tsunkat.
Tsunkat.
Kumite.
Tsunkat. Chong Li. Man, they would get no fucking views if Bolo Young was the guy that they brought in, but I feel like
it's a girl with weird hair versus a slightly larger girl with weird hair.
Yes.
The smaller one
over in like
a couple kicks. And
like, I don't think she even gets a couple of kicks. I think she goes one kick in and it's done.
And Chakotay pretty much goes into technobabble mode, explaining that
how Tsunkatse works.
They have glowy things on their hands and feet.
Yeah.
And glowy things on their chest and the back of their neck. And if you
Like, they have
punch it,
sensors that you have to punch.
if you punch it, it hurts. And then the other
It's
guys
like-
are like, "Oh, focus on the fight." Brr.
But there's no fight going on.
This is like
They're
between the fights.
So basically what we've got here is laser tag MMA.
Yes.
But now we finally get to the thing that was advertised. Finally! The Rock has come back to... Where am I?
So
I guess Pandari.
even the Rock, one of the most charismatic men on TV in the 2000s. Hell, even charismatic now. I am talking
walking-
like this. I am one of the strongest warriors from my planet. And I will defeat
I'm
you.
so strong.
I am so strong that you, 7 of 9, will not defeat me.
Don't they say that, like, Tsunkatse are not Tsunkatse. Oh my god. The Pandaris are known for, like, their great strength and their bad tempers. He's fairly even-tempered.
No, he never got pissed off once.
Which you'd think would be the thing you'd want with the... How do you waste The Rock's talent like this? Like, The Rock wasn't the greatest the highest paid actor ever yet, but he was still talented enough to act.
You could probably just tell him to cut a promo when he could.
You'd think.
You think
Do
this
the
blood
thing.
sport, because it is a blood sport, they establish later it's a blood sport. You think this blood sport, if it's got inspiration of gladiatorial arenas, you think having a personality would make people, A, know your name, and B, bet on you, right?
By the way, what name? He doesn't have a name.
He doesn't have a name!
I looked it up. He's listed in the wiki as Pandari champion.
He's the Pandari champion.
That's all you know. He doesn't have a name. You couldn't fake a fucking silly gladiator name.
Look, I've
You
seen other shows do the whole Space Gladiators thing. I couldn't name them off the top of my head.
Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
Yeah, it's one of them. But you imagine one of the fighters.
Galvanax.
One of the fighters is just like, I'm the toughest, I'm the strongest man, I'll crush anyone who comes by me. I'm Wrestler.
Wrestler. Wrestler is like the epitome of this concept of a space warrior just dominating everything.
Yeah, but he also he has like crowd chops. He could work a crowd.
Yeah. You'd think, but no. Instead, we just get kind of a boring fight between him and 7 of 9. I don't think... Does he even hit the rock bottom?
I don't recall. He might have.
Yeah, no.
He might have.
He might have, and we might have missed it. If he doesn't, then that's a fucking waste as well. Give Jerry Ryan a rock bottom, you cowards.
Do it.
Do it.
It's not like it hurts.
It's not like she doesn't have a stunt double.
So the Rock beats her. They try and so Chakotay notices that 7 of 9 is fighting, and he
I
tries
think
to.
it was Neelix.
Oh, okay, it might have been either. And Chakotay calls the Voyager to come pick her up or beam her in, and it turns out that they're not actually fighting where Chakotay's watching. It's a projection.
Oh, it's holographic projection. Okay,
Yeah,
that was the part I missed.
and that they
'Cause they were
don't know
talking
where their
technobabble.
actual location is. And here's the weird thing. Then they cut to Peng, right? His name's Peng.
Peng? Or I think it's just the Hirogen guy who doesn't have a name.
They
He
cut to
just has-
Peng, the guy
they cut to
the
Peng.
promoter.
Oh yeah.
They cut to him watching them fight in an empty arena. And then when the Rock beats her, he does that whole look into the crowd and sort of absorbing the atmosphere thing. He is entirely
so crowd.
fucking alone.
There's no crowd.
There's no crowd, right?
Who directed this episode?
Did no
They
one
told
tell
them
The
to do
Rock that
that.
you're not actually in a crowd? Did he just improvise because he was filming in a crowd and was like, I'm going to appeal to the crowd because I'm The Rock? And then
But
it
he's
was
not
just
in that
like,
crowd.
he's not in a fucking crowd.
God damn. They don't do anything right with this concept.
So 7 of 9's knocked out. They take her to the back. She's all bruised up. Someone's like scanning a thing on her and says it's like a
thermal regenerator.
dermal regenerator. I'm
Which is
regenerating
totally-
your dermals.
Your dermals. See, I think what the idea is that it's like it's a skin contact like curing thing, like a magic wand you wave over the skin and then it gets in the skin and that fixes things. Like like the hypospray or like that injection thing we once looked at, like the fucking like the air pump injector.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But no, the way it's said, the name of it implies that it is an epidermis based fucking healer that will just fix your skin.
Fix my skin. So, yeah, she gets bruises, and that one guy, I forgot his name. The hunter guy.
He doesn't have a name. He's Hirogen Fighter.
Oh, Hirogen Fighter. Please name your characters. Hirogen Fighter comes up and pretty much talks about how, like, do you know what's the difference between a champion and a survivor in here? Nothing. And it's just like, I would have gone with the difference between a champion and a survivor is just a belt.
And even that doesn't make any sense because not all of the fights are fights to the death. That was a question we had while watching the episode. Was like, is this a death match or not?
Well, they kept saying that people who lose die, but she lost and she lived. But the thing they didn't say or didn't clarify, maybe, is that when your touchy things are red, it's a death match. And your touchy things are blue, it's not a death match. And they didn't establish any match that was a death match before the death match that happens later.
I remember they said blue match, but I feel like they kind of expected you to know what that meant. But it's like, no, that wasn't the case. Maybe there was a bit of dialogue we missed somewhere where they actually did explain this, but it just felt like it came out of nowhere.
Peng comes in and talks about how because 7 of 9 is a Borg, and they're in, like, this special quadrant of the galaxy, she's a heel, and everyone wants to, like, buy tickets to see her get her ass kicked. Even though he comes up with this line of, like, you see how much they pay to see you lose? How much will they pay to see you die? Even though it's like, look, man, as a promoter, you really want to keep your talent as long as you fucking can, because as soon as they're gone,
that is a short-term boost.
As soon as they're gone, you're out of a paycheck, mister.
Like,
you want to keep that money going. You got to build a star.
Hank, did you come from like the Bischoff line of genetics? Because that's like putting the belt on Goldberg to pop a rating for a Nitro.
Yeah, it's just you don't think about the benefit of not doing that. So you do the stupid thing, and then you're just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like with Goldberg, it's like, oh, God, someone has to beat him now. Or with this guy. Yeah, kill your top heel. Kill your top heel. Yeah, totally, that'll work. Fucker.
That'll work great.
You don't know shit. You don't know a goddamn thing.
Don't know a goddamn thing. Fuck you, Jeffrey Combs. You deserve better. Anyway.
7 of 9 trains with the fighter guy.
Yeah, the Hirogen Fighter dude.
Hirogen Fighter.
They're like, you know, everyone has a plan until they're punched in the face, basically.
And she's, like, studied the manual that Tuvok got about Tsunkatse, but he just does moves that aren't in the guidelines. And it's like, oh, what are you going to do then, huh? What are you going to do?
It's amazing that there are guidelines to this when it seems to be a
then she kicks him in the
fucking
then she kicks him in the fucking liver.
Yeah.
Like,
she gets him without Wapo because he has a weakness.
El Wapo.
He has an old injury on his left side that never healed after 19 years.
Then he talks about his life and why he's been there for 19 years, and he was on a hunting trip with his son. And his son watched him get taken away, but they didn't take his son at first because he wasn't big enough. I was trying to angle that they were going to make either 7 of 9 or him fight his son, but they don't do it.
You would think? No, the son doesn't show up at all. I just like how immediately he followed up. I just put her up against the wall. I was like, I tricked you with my tragic backstory.
I tricked you with my backstory. Never take sympathy. You are a hunter.
Do not pity your prey. It's like...
So, Neelix comes back from an embassy. And they tell him that they cannot help him with getting 7 of 9 off of the Tsunkatse ship. Because apparently it's almost all the profit for their planet. It's like
how?
almost entirely.
You have only one Pandari fighter. Yeah, he's the champion of Tsunkatse, but that can't possibly justify unless you are a dirt poor planet.
All the other fighters die. Are we not talking about industries such as the food business or like medical or
weapons development
or construction? This fucking dingy ass fighting arena is all your money, even though you only have one guy as your champ.
Only one guy is the champion. One Pandari total. I don't think anyone else is a Pandari. Just him. Unless Pank is. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know what the Pandari race looks like.
But they kind of talk about how they're starting to single down where this ship is. Because it keeps moving every time it broadcasts, and they kind of like figure out a flight pattern with a big map. And they're just like, and then they mention that it's like a traveling circus, and I was just like, Kizarni debut win.
Wasn't it like, it wasn't even like a traveling circus, it was just they were following like the pay-per-view broadcast signal, basically?
Yes.
Like, it was just basically the satellite feed. Which again is like, so this fucking planet of Pandari people, they get most of their like planetary revenue from pay-per-view buy rates.
It's not next to the planet. The guy who runs it isn't even a Pandari.
Right? Like, you can't be.
How? So we made a joke because her training was starting to get complete with the fucking guy warrior.
With the Hirogen, yeah.
Hirogen warrior. And I made the joke, I was like, I taught her wrong as a joke.
Taught her wrong on purpose, as a joke.
Wang Lo. Or Wimp Lo, excuse me.
Wimp Lo. Not Wang Lo. But, yeah, and then it's like, they're still talking about how it's like, I don't want to kill anyone. That's like 7 and 9's whole deal is she doesn't want to kill anyone.
She doesn't want to kill anyone in this fighting arena, even though she hasn't participated in any form of deathmatch.
She's only fought once, and she got her ass kicked by the Rock. By the way, he's gone, by the way.
Rock's gone. He's gone. Never shows up. Rock. He is gone.
If you tuned into this episode to see the Rock...
It took half an hour. He's gone.
You had 5 minutes of screen time, at most.
At best.
At best.
So she talks to Tuvok, who's feeling a little better about these death matches, and I just started thinking, your next opponent's Nick Gage. He knows.
Nick Gage. MDK.
MDK. He believes in something called MDK.
But yeah, so. And like we're going through like what is the final match? What is the red match gonna be? Is it gonna be The Rock again? Because we're really hoping for more of The Rock.
7 of 9 comes in, they boo, and it turns out it wasn't his son and it wasn't The Rock. It was the guy who taught her. And it's like, you wanted to learn all my moves, and then he was like, no, I wanted you to learn all my moves because I want to fucking die.
I still like just he really did teach her wrong on purpose as a joke.
The Kaiji strategy. No.
The Kaiji strategy. So basically, it's a red match, and he wants to die because he's been stuck on this ship for 19 years.
Yes.
Fighting, and he doesn't think he's ever gonna see his son again. And we started realizing, why not just put them in an octopus hold and just pink belly their sensor until they're done? Like, they never try for submissions. It's all hand to hand.
Well, they're all like, I'm not saying playing grab ass would probably be the better option, but if it's about hitting that sensor, just fucking grab him and start bonking the sensor like you're playing a bop it. Just like,
yeah,
put him in a leg lock and then bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, it's, like I said, octopus stretch, octopus stretch. I think is what I'm thinking of.
I want a good death. In there
and do some pink bellies on that sensor, and then they're fucking dead in an octopus hold.
So the ship comes in, and Chakotay is the acting captain, and they enter.
Commander Chakotay.
And they enter negotiations, or they pretty much like ping the Tsunkatse ship.
They tell Pank, like, you
Right,
have
Pink
two
is
of my,
like, you have two of
crew.
my crew, give them back. And then Pink is just like, no.
And it's just like, oh, gotta shoot him now.
Shooting time. So they just start, they have like just a very not interesting space battle.
They're just having space laser shootouts while Seven's fighting the Hirogen, like, at the same time.
They kind of alternate back and forth between the Hirogen fight and just two ships floating slowly towards each other with lasers.
Pinging lasers, and then Janeway comes in because they called in Janeway and
I'm
said,
back,
hey,
fuckers.
We lost two of the crew. And she's like, fine. Shore leave's over, I guess.
I love shore leave.
And then Janeway comes in, shoots at the lasers. I have a feeling that they wanted to use as little, like Kate Mulgrew wanted as little to do with this episode as possible. So she's in like 2 to 3 scenes.
Yes. Like, I'm taking a break.
They shoot down the shields, they shoot the satellite, and
they
knock
shoot the
out
satellites,
the
and their signals start to go down, and they cut to the main board of the Tsunkatse ship, and they're just like, half our viewers cannot see the show anymore. And I just joked, we lost half our audience. Tell them Mick Foley won the belt. Yeah, I'll put butts in seats.
They were broadcasting on Go Fight Live.
I don't get that one.
Go Fight Live did like really bad pay-per-view broadcast for ROH. But yeah, so The Rock doesn't show up.
Nope.
We get to like the end of the Tsunkatse fight, and like
Seven gets the upper hand, and he's just like, kill me, and then they both get beamed out.
Yeah, she's hesitating to get beamed up, and it's all good. And then, like, Seven's getting treated by the doctor, and he's just like, yeah, if you need, like, anal cream or a phaser.
Analgesic.
Okay, analgesic.
You want some anal cream?
I
know you're injured, so I might have to apply it myself.
Yes. And, like, he talks to, like, they say, oh, yeah, there's, like, a Hirogen hunting party near, like, 3 light years away. We'll drop you off with them.
I might find
guy
my
who
son
doesn't have a
again.
name. And now he's looking for his son again. And I almost expected it to go, like, the fucking Operation Overdrive route of, like, they show up with the son, so he doesn't even have to look.
There he is. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, but no, he's just gonna leave, and, like, you know, they have, like, some sort of heart-to-heart, and then it ends with, like, Seven and Tuvok talking. And
about how, like, this experience made her more human instead of taking it away, because even though she learned how to kill.
Well, she was, like, afraid that, like, in that moment she was losing her humanity after trying to reclaim it. But we're like, you exhibited basic survival instinct.
Wanting to live is a human trait.
Like, and, like, she's like, oh, yeah, I had fear and regret and shame, and it's like, yeah, that's human.
So,
and then that's it, and then a minute of credits.
Oh, and the Hirogen took his sticker off, and then gave her his sticker.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like one of those toy reflectors you put on a tricycle.
God, this episode sucked.
I didn't like it.
Like, I can't even imagine as a Star Trek fan enjoying this episode.
What a waste of The Rock.
What a waste of The Rock. What a waste of Jeffrey Combs.
You got one of the best character actors in wrestling. And a pretty decent character actor.
And a pretty decent character actor in his own right.
And you made him stoic and show up for 5 minutes.
Both of them barely, like,
it was like the people who were making the episode didn't trust The Rock enough to give him any material.
They don't even give him a name.
They don't give several people names.
Hank is the only character of this Tsunkatse plot that has a name. That's it.
And, like, literally, I don't know how serialized the Star Trek Voyager is, but it's literally just like, Captain's log, stardate, whatever. we're traveling to here. And then at the end, it's just like, we're still going that way.
Oh my god, there's an episode of Enterprise with the Big Show on it.
Where?
Oh, I know what's gonna happen the next time I take the wheel. Oh my god, he looks hideous.
Save it for later.
He's in green makeup. It's wonderful.
Where? Why'd you make me watch this?
I thought this was gonna be hilarious.
I thought it was gonna suck, and I was right.
You were right. Well, it didn't even suck in a fun way. This
no,
is
it just
boring.
sucked.
It just sucked. No awards because this is an episode of Star Trek, and no one really gets MVP for it anyway.
No.
The Rock gets underrated because fuck it. I think that counts.
I don't want to give Rock that, but I don't know if he had decision in what he did.
So that was our newest. That was I'm taking the wheel. I'm no longer allowed the wheel. It sounds like.
Fuck you.
I'm banned from the wheel. But if you
What's
want
next?
actual...
The 70s show where they had Matt Hardy in it?
Excuse you. They had an episode with The Rock in it, so we could also watch that.
Are they gonna not use The Rock correctly there either?
He played his dad, so.
Okay.
So that could actually be kind of fun. But anyway, if you want to see actual wrestling content, if you're a new viewer who came in here because you saw a Star Trek thing, we have RASSLE Boys, which we have recently renamed to better fit the algorithm. It is RASSLE space BOYS.
Yes, we got the W out and we added a space.
We got the dub out. Yeah.
So, our views did go down a little bit, but that's just because people have to find us again and we have to start linking to the new links. I might have to go back and rename all the episodes. Whoopee.
Yeah. But in the meantime, if you can find us, so, through this episode, you can find us watching 2002 WAF until Peacock Shuffle, 2002 TNA until we started hating that, and Lucha Underground, which we will get back to and hopefully have better notes this time.
I swear to God, if you have another episode where you don't write notes, we're not watching Lucha Underground anymore.
We'll just watch more Star Trek.
Welcome to the first ever wrestling-themed Star Trek podcast. What do we say at the end of these?
Soon cut. Wait, we forgot the plug.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter that we forgot the